Terrell, welcome in. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you here. You're here in Houston though for a special reason. Your daughter is a freshman at Prairie View A&M and just won SWAC Volleyball Player of the Year. I know you're proud of that.
Yeah, freshman player of the year, and yeah, she's doing a tremendous job. Obviously, the team didn't do that well, but I think obviously coming here, being able to extend her playing career has been awesome so far.
Why did y'all choose Prairie View A&M here in the Houston area?
She loved the architecture program here,
Okay.
And I think that was obviously education is very key to her, and so we came out here for a visit, and she fell in love with it.
And you get a look at some of the photos right there of Kylie playing volleyball, and I think we've got one of the two of y'all together there.
Yeah,
Looks like visiting Prairie View.
I wish I could get up that high.
All right, Tio, let's talk about this comeback here, man.
Yeah.
And so you're 49 years old.
Absolutely.
And happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Late birthday. We're one day apart.
Absolutely. Same to you. Happy belated.
You're 49 years old.
Yeah.
You are closer to age 60 than to when you last played in the NFL in a game in 2010.
Right,
so
right.
my first question is why and why now?
Well, the thing is, you look at some of the opportunities that are out there. Obviously, I've kept myself in great shape. Even yesterday, just when I was in Los Angeles working out with my son, still on the field, understanding the opportunity to do something honestly that hasn't been done. And I know I have the ability to do it. And I think with me, when you look at the NFL, you think about some of the teams that are on the cusp
Right.
that could utilize, some of my services. You think about red zone, you think about third down. I'm a viable option, and so I think there are some teams that are out there that I could help.
We get a look at some of your workouts right now, and I saw you ran a 40 recently. What was that time?
It
Like
was under
4.4 something.
Yeah, 4.4 something. For me,
Yeah.
that's not too shabby.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you doing to get yourself potentially ready? I mean, you look good, man, but what are you doing to get yourself in NFL shape?
I'm always staying ready. Doing maintenance, doing things obviously like I said to get back on the field. Constantly doing physical therapy work, just making sure the body is able to respond, when needed. And just getting out on the field. I've been throwing out in Thousand Oaks with a couple of guys that are preparing for, the combine and their workouts or what have you. A couple of quarterbacks that played in the league, Manny Wilkins, that has been out there as well at Oak Park High School. So just being on the field, just staying active.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are football people taking you seriously with this? You're 49 years old, dude.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't take me serious.
Okay.
I think if anybody can do it, I can. I think, like I said, you look at me move. I don't move like a 49-year-old. I think I'm real aware of the detractors or people that's like, oh, man, he's crazy for trying to do what I do. I did that last year. Earlier in the season, everybody was like, oh, well, he can't take a hit. Shannon Sharp was one of my main critics. He's like, man, you can't take a hit. So I played in the FCF just to do that. I only was required to play 4 weeks, but I ended up playing the entire 8 weeks. I did that, took hits, showed people that I'm durable. And like I said, you talked about the race back in August. I ran a couple of guys, and I beat those guys that were half my age. So it's not a matter of, can I do it? Just being given the opportunity.
Well, let me ask you, why now, though? I mean, you've been out of the NFL a long time.
Why not now?
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay. Fair.
Like I said, at the end of the day, I think you look at some of the teams, like I said, just to have an opportunity, honestly, to do something that hasn't been done. I think everybody marvel at what Tom Brady has been doing over the course of his career. If you look at what my body of work, I think it speaks for itself. And I think why not? Why not put more people with able bodies out there, more firepower out there to win a championship.
As you look at some of the great images of Terrell's career and right there with the Dallas Cowboys, I want to talk about Dallas here in just a second. And I wonder, Tio, if any of it, I mean, the rules have changed a lot since you played. Like back in the day, if you went over the middle when you played, it could get nasty, but not so much anymore. Like, do you think it's more conducive for receivers playing right now?
Absolutely. It'd be more favorable for me. Again, like I said, I'm not one to go in and play 50, 60 snaps right off the bat. When you think about, the league now, and as you mentioned, how the game is being officiated, I think I'm a viable option, like I said, third down situation, red zone. That's where games are won and lost. You think about the Kansas City game last year. They struggled, in the red zone. That's a team, obviously, and a coach that I played for that obviously, like I said, could have used someone of my size and create mismatches in the red zone.
Third all-time in the NFL in touchdowns and receiving yards. I know there's a lot of milestones that are right out there for you as well. Last one on the comeback, we'll get back to it. Your agent Gregory's here in the Houston area. Yep. What's the process in terms of like trying to convince team? Do you have to get meetings? Do you have to get workouts? I mean, what is the process for you to actually do this?
Well, I mean, he's been talking, throughout this process with a number of teams or what have you, and for me, it's just a matter of me just staying ready, just in case, the opportunity comes. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. But for me, I always tell myself, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I remember playing in San Francisco early in my career, and we were depleted in the secondary. We brought a guy in that I had never even heard of, and he hadn't played in like 10 years. So again, when I think of those type of situations, those opportunities, who can't say that can't be me? So I think everybody sees and obviously knows that I can actually do it. It's just a matter of me being put in the right situation to do it.
It would certainly be historic, and I want to, Misha, if we could look at some of those sort of media spotlight is what I've kind of labeled these. I want to ask you about your career. When I think about T.O., I think when everybody thinks about T.O., probably two things come to mind. Undoubtedly, one of the greatest to ever do it, certainly at the wide receiver position. You're an NFL Hall of Famer. Also, I don't know if controversy is the word. You were always in the spotlight. It was always something, and like even your Hall of Fame induction, like literally at the Hall of Fame, it took you 2 years to get in, which was ridiculous. And
but
then
if you think about,
you skipped the Hall of Fame induction, you had your own.
Right, but if you think about those things that I was heavily criticized for, when you think about where we are now, those things are pale in comparison.
Totally agree.
So you think maybe I should have been born, 20 years, later or whatever, I don't know. But I think with me, I exude a lot of confidence. It obviously can be misconstrued as being arrogant, but like I said, I feel like I was raised the right way. I think people that know me, especially the teams and some of the coaches that I played for, they know the real me. And I think I've always been authentic, and I've always been myself.
And to your credit, I know some of sort of what you were referencing is nothing that you ever did was anything nefarious, never trouble with the law. And I mean, you look at what's happening with Antonio Brown and gosh, so many other people. Certainly, the social media age, I think, has changed things. People would be a little more receptive to the popcorn now.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about the touchdown celebration, like I said, I never did anything that was illegal. Like I said, raised the right way. Those things that was frowned upon, obviously, like I said, in today's era, obviously would be definitely embraced.
It was fun, man. It was always must-see TV. Anytime you were in front of a microphone, anytime you were on the field. I mean, gosh, I remember going all the way back to the 49ers days when you caught the pass from Steve Young in the playoffs. We got a lot of Cowboys fans. I see my guy Kanan over here. I want to shout out Kanan. He's a huge Cowboys fan. He was pumped that you were coming in. And Erica Simon over there. A lot of Cowboys. We're in Houston, man. No one wants to root for the Texans, I guess, these days. What was it like playing in Dallas? Was it different than playing in the rest of the league?
I mean, of course. I mean, you think about playing one of the most historic franchises in the league itself, and obviously the most lucrative. And so for me, I think it was like a star amongst stars that have played in that uniform. So I definitely enjoyed my time there in Dallas. And so, yeah, I mean, they've been struggling over the last, however many years, but, hopefully they'll get there one day.
They've been close.
Yeah,
they were close when you were there, and still close right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Terrell, so I would love to, there's so much with your career. I was going back and looking at it yesterday, and just moment after moment, accomplishment after accomplishment to talk about, and we can't get to it. So I want to do a little rapid fire with you, if you will, and you can, I won't get you in trouble. You can expound on it a little bit, but I've got some index cards here. You ready?
I'm going back to school.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, favorite cities, San Francisco, Philly, or Dallas? Those three cities that you played in.
Oh man, that's crazy. I love Philly. I went to the Super Bowl in Philly, so and able to really flourish with my ability as a receiver. So I'd say Philly. I mean, they're some rough fans, but when they love you, they love you.
All right, most significant touchdown celebration that you're proud of: the Sharpie, the popcorn, or spiking it on the star in Dallas?
Ooh, I'll probably say the Sharpie. It was impromptu. I think very creative.
Okay. What's most misunderstood about you?
I don't know. Probably that I'm arrogant, but again, like I told you, I mean, I'm very confident. I'm probably misunderstood in a number of ways, but you got to know me to understand me.
So on that note, you talk about confidence. Was there one DB that gave you trouble that you said, man, I don't like going against this guy?
Early in my career, that was the case, and that was a guy, Aeneas Williams, that played with the St. Louis Rams. He was a big body, just like myself, and so he caused me to really get in the lab a little bit and really try to expand and hone on my skill set.
Do you actually like popcorn?
Love it. I love popcorn.
If y'all don't know, of course, get your popcorn ready, the famous one and the touchdown celebration.
I thought you would have been prepared today. You know what I mean? With the popcorn.
I should have had some popcorn, man. If anything, like would have been. And I think Jacob, do we have some popcorn? Jacob carries popcorn in here. Like there would be nothing more fitting than to get T.O. some popcorn. Okay, favorite quarterback: Steve Young, Donovan McNabb, Tony Romo.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna go with Steve Young. I started out with Steve. I didn't end up finishing my career with him, but again, like I said, that was the genesis of who I was to be and become.
It was such a great connection. The thing you admired most about Tony Romo?
Just his ability to make plays, on the run. He would get out of the most craziest plays and make something out of nothing, to be honest.
He used to pirouette kind of like Mahomes does now. It's like I hadn't thought of that until now, kind of what Romo would do in the pocket.
Yeah, kind of pre-Mahomes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Best wide receiver in NFL history?
That would be Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Jerry Rice.
I didn't know if you might say yourself or
no,
and you played with Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I have to pay respect and give homage to the guys that obviously went before me. But I mean, you look at his statistics, and I was able to obviously learn from him as well as be coached by some of the best coaches. Again, you think about his statistical resume, you can't deny it.
Okay, couple more here. True or false? You are an avid and expert bowler.
I wouldn't say expert, but I do love to bowl.
Where does the bowling? I know you've won a couple of celebrity bowling tournaments.
Yeah.
Like where does that come from?
Just being competitive. Like with what I'm doing now. I love to compete. And Norm Duke, during my first couple of years in San Francisco, there was a charity event, and it was a bowling event, and he was there, and I was just like everybody else, like the Flintstones, just bowling it straight down hard, and I was like, this is not gonna work consistently, and so he taught me how to bowl, and so
I just throw it down the middle. It's like a big lob.
So I fell in love with it and got that bug.
Okay, I want to close with this, and we'll end with your comeback. But help us out for I saw Richard Sherman got asked this question the other day. It was fascinating. What is the one thing that fans don't know, don't realize about what's happening on the field as we're watching that we should, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of what y'all are going through? What's one thing that fans should know when they're watching NFL football?
Ooh, I don't know. There's a lot of information being coming in and off the field. So I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of chaos going on down there. But again, it's organized chaos, to be quite honest. There's a lot of people with a lot of different information, kind of on the same page, meaning the same thing. And like I said, we have that one common goal, obviously, to execute a play that comes in pretty much every other second or so.
As we close here, we're running out of time, sadly. This has been so much fun. What do we need to know about your comeback, man? What's next for you?
Like I said, hopefully, if it happens, it happens. As you mentioned earlier, it will be history. And so, again, I want to be able to do something that hasn't been done. And what I'm doing is no different than an NBA player, taking a 10-day contract and coming in and seeing what that guy can do. And then if he stays on the roster, if the coaches see that he's able to help, then they extend that. And so it's equivalent to what I'm doing. Like I said, if I can come in, like I said, I think I think I'll pass the eyeball test, as far as, what I can do as far as physically. But again, it's all about an opportunity. So if I can come in and help a team win the Super Bowl, hey, wouldn't that be special?
We hope it happens. I hope it happens. It would be such a great story, and it's so great to spend some time with you this morning. Glad you're in the Houston area. We're going to be following along, I know, like so many of other people, to make sure it happens. So, T.O., thanks so much for coming in, man. The one and only 81 NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens with us here on ABC 13.